Welcome to Velocity Podcast. I'm very excited today because I have my coach here, Shelley Gaudet from GFS, which is Gaudet Fitness Solutions. So how's it going today?
It's going really well, thanks.
Awesome.
I'm excited to be here.
Thanks for coming. So today we are talking about two things: why fitness is so important for the entrepreneur, and also how is Shelley marketing and getting herself out there. She has a ton of clients. She really pivoted when it came time for COVID and you had to go online.
That's my middle name for sure.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that. All right. You want to just tell me a little bit about yourself or tell the audience?
All right, so Shelley Gaudet, hence the name Gaudet Fitness Solutions, former elementary school teacher, turned into fitness and nutrition entrepreneur. I own and operate GFS, Gaudet Fitness Solutions, and it's currently out of 177 Paris Road in Brantford. And I have clients, about approximately 125 women who come regularly, either in person, online, do video recordings, or have nutrition coaching services with me.
Basically it. So when you first started, when you made the transition from teacher to fitness coach, how did you start building up your clientele?
Well, I started at my house originally, and Facebook, for all that it's negative, is probably the best thing that could have happened to me in terms of getting clientele. So I had a few ladies coming that I knew from the community, and then they would tell their friends. We created a Facebook group. They would bring other ladies into the Facebook group. I used the Facebook group to post the workouts, post encouragement, post recipes, post tips, all of those things. Facebook to me was the number one way that I was able to grow a very successful business, for sure, hands down.
All right, and then when it came time for the big pivot, which was like the word of 2020,
yes.
How did you kind of dive into the social media to really promote your business still? Because gyms, we all know, and gyms and like the travel community, they were the ones that got hit the most.
Yes, that was a very trying time for me and my family. My clients thought that I just kind of sailed through it like nothing. They thought that I just, had always done this before, and I had never even really uploaded a video before. I didn't know that you could upload a video to YouTube, but you had to make sure you were using copyrighted music. I didn't know that my internet at home was as bad as it really is. Yeah. So they always say you learn by failing. So let's just say I learned a lot because I failed a lot at the beginning, trying to figure out how to bring workouts to my clients. And so at first we were just doing workouts, my daughter and I, a few times a week. We were trying to do them Facebook Live. We tried a number of different methods, and then we ended up on what I use now, which is Whereby, but basically by failing on a whole number of platforms, including Zoom. Zoom and me are not good friends. It just didn't work with the bandwidth that I have at home because I live out in the country in Paris. And then spending hours and hours uploading video and realizing that at home my upload speed is not good and just going on data. So just doing a lot of things and learning a heck of a lot about technology. I used to be the person that didn't even know how to work the remote control at my house because I don't watch TV, and now I'm the go-to person for all things technology, which is really funny in my household. So my whole goal then was just to keep the girls motivated, keep them working out, no matter what I had to do. That had to happen. So we worked hard. We got a really good system going. We used the Facebook, when they had the Facebook chat rooms originally, we used them to do workouts, and then we ended up on the Whereby platform, which we've kept ever since. Absolutely love it. So it's so interesting because I never in my life would have thought that I would be uploading workout videos every day, and I'm doing it at least once a day, sometimes twice a day. I never thought I would be doing a hybrid model where girls are online from home and in person at the same time. So in a lot of ways, COVID has actually been really good for my business. I wouldn't have said that in 2020, but for me, because now my community is not just within the Brantford and Paris area. You could be in Toronto, you could be in Niagara, you could be in BC. I have some clients from BC. It really doesn't matter where you are because I can reach you. I can do online nutrition coaching with you no matter where you are, and you can also go on and do a live virtual workout with me as your coach living in BC, we just have 3 hours time difference.
Yeah.
So it's really opened up my business so that I can help more women all over Ontario, Canada, and beyond. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's sweet. You know, a lot of people, once they were forced to kind of think about their business in a wider sense during COVID, it was like, okay, you know what, I hated it during the time, but now I see that was pivotal for me. And obviously it was brutal for some people, but I found a lot of people were able, if they had the right attitude, to really use that as a springboard and a catalyst to change their business model, essentially.
And I have it going now still.
Yeah.
Like I still have women that are really happy working out from home. So like my 6:10 a.m. in the morning class is the busiest class ever still. And it's not abnormal for 6 women, because that's all I can take in person, 6 women to be in person, and at least 12, if not 15 people online.
Yeah.
Every morning at 6:10 a.m.
Yeah.
Because they like it, because they don't have to actually leave.
Yeah.
And they spent the time during COVID accumulating and creating a really awesome home gym. And they're like, I have everything I need. I have a coach encouraging me, sometimes yelling at me to do one more, to do another push-up, to do an extra burpee. And so they don't need to necessarily come and see me in person and do it. Now there are women that are back and they love the in-person, but it's really nice that if they decide they don't have a babysitter, or they decide, or like today it's really cold, they don't have to come in person, they can do it online. So as someone said somewhere along the way, you know, COVID is literally taking away every excuse you could possibly have for not working out. It's too cold, stay at home. It's you can't make the time because you have to go into work, do a video recording. So it's like there's a workout available to a GFS 24 hours a day.
Yeah, exactly. I found the same thing because I started getting into more working out during COVID, because I think it was like, oh, I can't do anything. I felt really boxed in, so then I just grabbed some weights or whatever. I like the in-person personally because I'm just like a slacker by myself, but I won't slack in a group of people. Okay, so
and I think that's with the virtual part too. Like some people, when they do the video recordings, are like, I can't do the video recordings because even though you're there, I know you're not there. But the fact that virtual, if you're actually live virtual, I can still look at you and be like, hey Sherri, what are you doing over there in the corner? And then I can see your weights. So I think that gives them that accountability piece that
that's very
you
true.
might not have doing a video.
I was doing some readings, and one reason I wanted to get into fitness too, not just because I started to feel my age, which I do not like, but I started reading and seeing a big correlation between people who are really wealthy, like entrepreneurs I look up to, who I'm trying to model myself after, and they are so busy, yet they're able to kind of carve in that time for fitness and health. So as I looked into that relationship, I realized there's so many people, whether it's Mark Zuckerberg, who owns Facebook, Richard Branson, which I have a quote from him. He says, I seriously doubt that I would have been able to be as successful in my career and happy in my personal life if I hadn't always placed an importance on my health and fitness. That spoke to me because I was like, okay, I want to level up and I'm doing what I can. Like I'm learning, I'm going to conferences and doing these things, but I had this big spot, which would be health and fitness, where I wasn't taking anything too seriously. So that's why I was like, okay, I want to make it a priority, make sure I'm carving time out of the week. Do you ever talk to anybody that's like, okay, I did it because I want to lose weight, which I'm assuming most people kind of want to, but is there this other factor of, okay, now that I have been doing it, and what you will always say is like sanity, not vanity. So if you want to speak to that kind of.
Well, I think we need to get out of the mindset that it's just all about weight loss, because truly if you want to lose weight, exercise is more to help you maintain your weight than to help you lose weight initially. Nutrition is more key for that, and we could have a whole other podcast on that. So we need to think that working out is for getting stronger, is for your mindset, is making time for you. And as an entrepreneur, it's really easy to not make time for you because you are with a client, or you're thinking about the next client, or you're looking after the clients you currently have. You could be working 24 hours a day and still be thinking, I could probably work another 24 hours within that day, and you're always looking for that extra time. So it's very hard to kind of carve out me time. But if you carve out that me time, I truly think then you have more energy to do the things you need to do. So even though you took that 45 minutes to work out, it gives you that extra mental and physical energy to be able to do other things. People constantly say to me all the time, I do not know how you have the energy that you do. And I truly think it's two reasons. One reason is I work out every single day, and the other reason is my nutrition, that I eat really well, which gives me energy. The water too, probably. But so for entrepreneurs, it's super easy to put everybody else's needs before you, because you're constantly trying. It's not just trying to keep the business you have, but you're always having to look forward to the next client, the next whatever. So it's very easy to kind of put yourself on the back burner, but then that's how you burn out. So if you put yourself first, which always sounds selfish, but I always say in class it is selfless. So you put yourself first, make sure your needs are met, then you're going to be able to meet everybody else's needs better. It's kind of like on the airplane, they say, put on your own mask before you put on someone else's. It's the same thing. You're not taking care of you, you are not going to be good at any other thing that you do.
Yeah.
The other interesting thing of being an entrepreneur is an entrepreneur has to be hardworking, otherwise we're not going to be successful. And usually how you are in the gym is how you are in life. So if I have an entrepreneur, they tend to be a very hard worker in the gym. They tend to be pushing themselves. They tend to have goals. So all of those things lead to result in the gym the same way it would in their whole life. So I do find, not always, but most of the time it does mirror, it's a mirror image of how they are in life. If they, don't come a lot, they don't show up, that kind of thing, that's probably how they conduct their life usually. And if someone who's a really hard worker in the gym, they're usually a hard worker outside of the gym too. So entrepreneurs tend to be very strong and fit in the gym.
That's really interesting. I've never thought about that. Something I wrote down on my notes here is there was a study conducted by the National Center for Biotechnology on the relationship between exercise and the brain, and it showed that there was a marked increase in learning, brain plasticity, and neuroprotective benefits. So exercise is, I think it's a lot more than losing weight. So obviously, as a woman, and you grow up and it's always lose weight, especially when we were growing up, it was always those stick skinny women. There was nothing about strength. It was just heroin bodies, as some people say. So now there's all the science is kind of backing it up. You want a full life, you have to include exercise, whether it's going to the gym. I used to love just playing soccer and actually doing active sports, but COVID kind of shut all that stuff down, so I needed another outlet. And so I could see that relationship even within my own life, which is it's an easier why behind why do you want to work out? Why am I going to wake up early or sacrifice here when I have other things to do? And it kind of hits that. And I find that in entrepreneurs, when I'm talking, the ones who get it, and the ones who don't. So I think that's really
The
interesting.
thing about exercise is they say it's a fountain of youth. And I truly and honestly believe that, because as you age, you naturally lose more muscle. And so you think about the aging population, what is their biggest fear? It's a fall. How do we prevent falls? Well, either you're staying in your house and sitting on your couch and watching TV all day, which is not a good thing, or you are out exercising, you're out walking, you are doing strength training at your level. All of those things make you stronger, which is going to make you, A, either not fall, or B, recover from a fall more easily. And if you look at people as they age, if they are somebody that is still working out or starting to work out, I have some women who started to work out in their 70s, they are stronger, and that's just going to take them all through life, and they're going to be able to prevent falls, prevent injuries, or recover more easily from them. If they have knee issues, if they're doing body weight squats, it's going to help their knee issues. If they have hip joint issues, getting out, walking, doing the things that they can do, not focusing what you can't do, is going to help them to age more gracefully. So it truly is a fountain of youth. I've got a personal training client who's never done personal training before, and she's 75 years old. And it's pretty amazing to see. I had her in the gym at the fitness center using it's like the old Kerr circuit. So using the hydraulics at the beginning, but then it got too easy for her within a month. And then now she's using light weights to do a shoulder press. She's laying down doing chest presses, and she's feeling much stronger. She's feeling much more confident. Her daughter told me that now she's making the walk to get her grandchildren after school, and it's quite a walk. It's 3 kilometers, but it's uphill. So the big thing as you age that people always say is they want to be able to play with their grandchildren.
Yeah.
And that becomes it's not, do I want to lose weight? It's not, do I want to be able to wear this dress? As you age, you don't care about those things anymore. You care about being able to play with your grandchildren. You care about being able to go on adventurous trips with your husband, with your family, being able to do everything and not be limited by what you can't do. If you don't have your health, you really don't have anything.
Yeah, exactly. That's awesome. Alrighty, so is there anything you want to just kind of finish with, like a call to action? How can people follow you? And actually, before we do that, I just want to talk about, there is this older woman, she's over 70, and she outlifts me every day out there. Like,
She's
damn,
amazing.
by at least 10 pounds too. Like, it's amazing. I'm just like so inspired by her. And it's really funny because I'm just like, yeah, that's who I want to be when I'm that age. I want to be able to go and have a life. Like, I don't want to be stuck at home. Because you work, then you retire, and then you can't even do anything. Like, that's my fear. So, yeah, I think she's funny.
Showing
And
that
actually,
video
all the
of
older
her,
women.
the video of her should have went viral, because how many 72-year-old women can do a NERPy, let alone a weighted NERPy?
Yeah.
I was introduced to Diane by Gilda, who is another amazing 7-year-old woman. So I told them, whatever you're drinking, I want some of that, because they both definitely exude youth.
Yeah, they're very equal.
I remember Diane coming into the gym, and she was going to a station, and I'm thinking, I know she's over 70. I don't see her doing this, but I don't say, oh, you probably can't do this, because that's not appropriate when I don't know someone. But I just said, here's a modification. Instead of doing, this at the beginning too, instead of doing a weighted NERPy, you could do a walkout. And she's like, a weighted NERPy? Oh, like this? And sure enough, she did that weighted NERPy. It was pretty amazing. She is absolutely incredible. So yes, I never want to limit people or to judge people based on their age and based on their size too. Just because somebody is overweight doesn't mean that they're not eating healthy, doesn't mean that they're not strong. So we need to not judge people by their appearance or by their age, and see what they can do.
Yeah, that's awesome. Alrighty, I'm going to put some of your information in the show notes, but if anyone wants to follow you along, how can they do that?
So I have a Facebook page called Gaudet Fitness Solutions. I also have an Instagram that is at GFS Fitness Studio. Please follow me. I love posting reels. I love when you like my reels too.
All right, and the question I ask everybody at the end of every podcast is, what is on your career bucket list?
You had told me you were going to ask this, and I had to think about this, because for me, it's never been about accumulating wealth, and I think I'm able to be like this because I have a husband who's a financial advisor, and he's very successful. So for me, when I open up businesses, because this is not my first one, it's always like a hobby, and I'm able to take risks, because if I fail from a money perspective, it's okay. And so I'm allowed to take risks more than other people can. So for me, when I open a business, it's not really about money. I mean, obviously I need to make money, but it's about, so for my career bucket list, it's just more, I'm really happy with where I'm at, and I just want to continue to help people take fitness and nutrition and stop thinking it's just about weight loss, or an 8-week or a 12-week transformation, and make it their lifestyle, that they're doing something every day for 30 minutes and enjoying what they're doing, that they're eating well most of the time, because it makes them feel good, and knowing that they don't really have to restrict anything. They don't have to stop drinking alcohol. They don't need to stop having cake. They don't need to stop celebrating for soccer, for Portugal if they win. All of that is part of life, and food and alcohol is part of an adult's life celebration. So it's really important that we make fitness and nutrition fit into our lifestyle, and make all the fun things in life also fit into our lifestyle, so that if you do lose weight and you get to your ideal weight, you're able to stay there, and you're not yo-yoing along. And it's really important for me to teach women that, sorry man, I'm just a ladies only gym, but women that, so that they can be a role model to their children, to their family, and so that we stop this cycle for women as teenagers, children, girls. As they age, they have to look a certain way in order to be accepted, and that fitness and nutrition is just about weight loss, that it's more about healthy living and being the best you can be.
I love it. All right, you guys, if you want more information, I'm going to link her website and her Facebook and Instagram page and follow along the journey